I gave you the longer length of chain that you requested. However, this does not entitle you to more trust. I simply want to give in to smaller demands for now. Originally, when I had decided to give in to your request, I had planned to sedate you for the process. However, I changed my mind. I left the capped needle with a dosage of bedazolam in my pocket. I attached the chain to the metal eye hook in the ground first, and then pulled the full length straight out to show you the difference. You smile at me, delighted, and applaud silently. I can't help but to smile back. It makes my chest swell with the feeling that only I feel around you. Like that calloused heart in my chest wants to crawl out and throw itself at your feet. I sit down on the bed and pat the space beside me. You come forward, raising your foot and placing it within reach. I gesture to your other leg, and when you raise it, I bring both feet into my lap. I gently stroke the top of your foot with the back of my fingers before gently guiding you to lean back against the wall. I look to you pointedly and let the smile drop from my face abruptly. I don't take the mask off, but I allow my eyes to change almost imperceptibly and I say nothing for a moment. I then bring my hands up and sign. Be a good girl. You look at me nervously and nod silently. You're promising me to behave. I unlock the lock and remove the original chain from your ankle, and I let it drop to the ground. I take a moment to look over the area where the chain has been in contact with your skin, as I do every time that I change the chain and the collar. There is a circumferential open wound from the friction of the skin. I have overlooked this. I have somehow missed it over the past 10 days that I hadn't changed the chain. I usually changed it on schedule, once a week. However, when you started responding to my physical cues, I became distracted. You are so very distracting, my love. My brows furrow immediately, and I'm abruptly feeling a fury that is me clenching my teeth together. I'm not fucking happy. I'm signing at you aggressively. This must hurt. Why didn't you say anything? You look at me confused and ask me what was hurt. I gesture to your foot in my lap. I'm not happy. It shows. You sit up and you twist your legs to the side, moving one out of my lap, and it nearly makes it to the ground before I am gripping you violently. Where exactly do you think you're going? You make a breathy sound and your eyes are wide and watering at the pain before I can relax my grip. You sign to me angrily. Ow, hurt, be nice. That wasn't nice. You smack the hand gripping your leg before you can stop yourself. I don't release you, but my fingers relax even further immediately. Before watching me nervously, but with a little fire behind your eyes as you move slowly this time so that you can look to see your ankle. I feel my chest constrict. I'm usually calm and collected under pressure and others. I am realizing that my missteps and sudden bursts of emotion are all coming from loving you. It is a high cost, and I find myself questioning my behavior. A reason that I knew the risks, and take a slow, even breath. You look genuinely surprised when looking at your ankle before signing back to me. I didn't know. The chain hurts. All the time. I didn't know it was so bad. You move your feet back into my lap. It is a possibility that there was some neuropathy due to your earlier actions of pulling or fighting the chain, which would explain that why you are unaware that you are injured. It takes me much too long to realize that. Earlier you spoke to me like I was a bad puppy, nipping at you. I scowl, but shake my head, trying to free myself from the eclipse of violent thoughts that wash over me. There is nowhere and no one for me to express my rage upon. I will have to check your ankle where the chain rests more frequently. You seem to be holding your breath. I can see a scarlet flush working its way up your neck into the tips of your ears. I watch it travel up your throat and tint your cheeks. Such a beautiful throat. I know that my hand will wrap around it and fit perfectly, and I will be able to feel your pulse thrum against my fingertips. I let my imagination wander for a moment. I let myself think of your warmth, the slick, wet feeling on your mouth and your tongue. I think of grabbing a fistful of hair and pulling, making you bare your throat to me while in the throes and monkeying your soft skin with my teeth. I let my hunger speak volumes simply through my gaze. Your eyes are wide, focused, fixated, and you remain silent. Of course you are, but there is so much said behind those eyes of yours. I take a measured breath before I secure the chain around your other ankle, and I tap your foot when I'm done. You remove your feet from my lap, and I sign, telling you to stay put. I enter the code on the remote to bypass the parental control to turn on the television, and then hand you the remote. I remind you once more with sign language. Stay here. I'll be right back. I return with a first aid kit, and I take my time. I'm extremely gentle while putting on antibiotic cream before applying sterile pads and wrapping the gauze around the area. I have assumed that you will be engrossed in the television and look up. Only you're not. You're watching me closely. You give me a wobbly smile and sign one thing. Thank you. I stroke your leg, careful to avoid the newly placed bandage. I knew that these were the growing pains of your awakening, but I had been intent on making this as painless as possible. I am disappointed that you didn't tell me sooner, nor did it seem that you had kept an eye on your ankle. You should know better. You should have been aware. You should have told me. The thank you distracts me, though, and I refrain from scolding you. I suppose the wound itself is enough of a lesson, but I would have to remind you that your body was mine. It wasn't meant to be hurt, or scarred, or marred in any way. You're safe. You're loved. You're mine. Mine. I don't confront you about those inklings or thoughts of mine. In fact, I am hyperfixated on your own thoughts and the way that you're dealing with them. The small eddies of undercurrent in the water of your heart and mine. I simply watch as these thoughts drip into the ocean and spread. I am rarely one to delay in gratification, but I know that if I let it build, let it stay, sway, let it bend and kowtow you to your own thoughts, it'll be much more efficient than my own interference. Unless I see you sway too far to the other side of your thought process. Then I'll have to derail your little train of thought and steer you back to the right viewpoint. However, I do find myself watching the cameras closer than ever every time that I'm not with you. I watch you as you talk to yourself with your hands. I had loved this so much about you when we were first dating. You were so expressive, so sincere. It was like reading your thoughts. I watch as you would talk about anything and everything. Some thoughts are simple, like afterthoughts or random exclamations that are as adorable as they are simple. Where are you? Damn you! Go yourself, you would sign animatedly. Then you pause as you go hunting for something. It seems that you'd found it. as you point to your bed before exclaiming, "You are hiding! How dare you?" It was a sweater that you had taken off in bed and forgotten to put in the laundry basket. Then, there are other longer conversations with yourself that are more complex, chaotic, confused. What do I do? It seems like you have resorted to arguing with yourself about your feelings and your current situation. You talk about the change in dynamic between us, question what you are to do about the current situation and the one that I find myself fixated on the most. You ask yourself, do you love him? It is when, after days of asking yourself this question, you finally answer yourself outside of ignoring it, or waving your hands in the air wildly, as though you could erase the very sign language you put into existence, and moving on with your own internal thoughts. When you finally answer, all I can feel are those vibrant colors you paint my black and white world with. And it is as beautiful as it is violent. When you finally answer, I am finally alive and can only feel your words as you sign. Of course, I love her.
Hello, my loves. I am back. I'm no longer sick. My goodness, I am no longer sick. Thank God. Okay, so let's. Oh my gosh, I actually don't know what to talk about. That is actually kind of crazy. Um, it's been a hot minute. How I really think about it. I mean, I know I was sick and all, and I'm still. Excuse me. I had to clear my throat a couple of times to actually, you know, like sound good. Um, but hey, it turned out well in the end, huh? It turned out well. So as Lixian always says, as long as it works, that's what matters. And if you get that reference, I love you. I love all of you equally, but I love you even more. That's so mean. But it's okay. It's okay. It is actually really early. It's about 3:57 p.m. Yeah, 3:57. I had just gotten done eating, and I decided to quickly finish this video for you guys, because I know you guys have been waiting, so very patiently. And yes, I have seen all of your little, requests that I put on my posts. I did see them, and I will be doing them. We'll be doing them. Let's see, which ones do I remember writing down? Let's see. I wrote them down so I wouldn't forget them. Ah, yes, here they are. I think the ones. I mean, obviously, this is the Alice video, so that's done and over with, so I can cross that one off. I saw a Toxic Family Comforts, more vampire scripts, sci-fi. Sci-fi was a big one. Um, Mafia Boss Cuddles. I really like that one. Bounty Hunter, which is something I wasn't actually expecting, but hey, I am not going to complain. I actually haven't done one of those yet, so hey, I'm willing to try. I don't know if I'll succeed, but I feel like you guys will like it either way. And also a really spicy sweet yandere, um, which I'm also really exciting for. Exciting for. Come on, man, that's not the right. It's not the right word. It's excited. uh, anyway, try not to make this too long. I know this one's a bit shorter, than I usually do. But yeah, I think you guys will like it, especially considering the collab. Sorry, what? Sorry, something got Stuck in my throat. Um, anyway, let's quickly think. Well, I'm going to quickly thank my patrons. Equiterra's Thought, Crazy Cat, Voltus, Demetrius1610, Mr. Midnight, Kru1001, Maple Brit, Samantha, Wealthy Whale, Neon BW, Knockonwood, and Chen. I think that's how you uh, pronounce it. Thank you so much, loves. I appreciate and love every single one of you. You guys will be seeing this first, by the way. I love every single one of you. You guys are basically helping me create this little community. This little community. I love this little community so damn much. I love you guys so goddamn much. It is. Mm, I love you guys. That's just. Yeah. Yay! I don't think you guys realize how wide I'm smiling right now. Anyway, speaking of Patreon, if you guys are interested in joining my Patreon, there are multiple different payment options and levels that you can choose from, whatever one fits. You can find that Patreon actually in my bio or in the description below. And it's totally fair. If it's not your cup of tea, it's totally fine. You don't have to, but if you could share it with one other person, that would be amazing. That would make my day. Um, and yeah, shoot, what else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, no, one of my content creator friends, another VA, had said that she had started, her merch at 5K, and I realized that might actually be a good idea. So I'm thinking, like, in the future, I'm probably not going to release any merch until 5K or maybe even later. Um, but yeah, that would be really freaking sick if we could get to that point. I think if we get to, let's see, today's the 7th, so I think if we can get to, I think this is doable. I think this is doable, guys. Let me quickly check what the numbers are. Checking the numbers, checking the numbers. Okay, so right now we are at 3.15K. And I believe this is doable. I believe in you guys. If you guys can get to 4K by the 30th of September, by the end of the month, if you guys can get to 4K by 12 a.m. On uh October? October's the next, yeah, October's the next month. I meant it. October's the next month. So if you can get to uh 4K by the end of the month, I will announce merch at 5K. I will take some polls, I will take some orders, and I will go ahead and create some merch. How about that? I don't know. I feel like that would be pretty decent deal. Um, if not, I'll just go ahead and release it at like 6, 7K ish. Um, like I had originally planned. Um, but yeah, I think that's a decent deal. So yeah, that's my deal. I mean, this is gonna turn out to be like 10 minutes if I don't end this now. Anyway, I love you guys. You drink water, you eat something, you take care of yourself, because if not, I will find you. That is a threat and a promise. I promise you, I will find you and I will shove a muffin down your throat, followed by some water, okay? That was very violent. I'm so sorry. I also realized I haven't taken my meds today, so my ADHD is very all over the place. Right, I love you guys. Bye. Mwah.